You're listening to Big World Network.
Phineas Frakture and the Terror of Dr. Maloney. Episode 8. Written by Joseph Gatch. Read by Michael Young. Go away! I need more sleep! A shoe sailed past Phineas's head as he entered William's room. Of course you had a hard night sitting and drinking with the local constabulary. It isn't like you spent the night running around an entire city. You've had 5 hours of sleep. That's more than enough for the human body to regenerate. Besides, if you would stop drinking that sewer water they have here and switch to coffee, you might just have more energy. Now get up! We have work to do. Phineas grabbed the bedsheets and pulled as hard as he could, sending William into a heap on the floor. I hate you. You know that, don't you? And you flew around the city, not ran. William's muffled voice said from under the blankets, You can hate me later. Right now we need to get to Scotland Yard. Meet me down in the lobby in 10 minutes. I have to find someone. Phineas left the hotel and went into the pub next door. He scanned the room, and when he didn't see what he was looking for, he started to yell. Griffin! Griffin, are you here? Where are you? Oi, mate. You don't have to shout at me here. I'm invisible, not deaf. The thief's disembodied voice said. Good, you're here. A business proposition for you. Phineas tried to focus on where he thought his invisible friend was, but just ended up crossing his eyes. I'm not in the habit of doing business, thank you kindly. People tend to get paranoid around me. Then how about some fun? That pays a bit? Phineas said slyly. Fun? What kind of fun? Bombs? Scotland Yard? Rescue the girl? Right, you had me at bombs. What do I do? Asked Griffin. Phineas began pulling apart one of the bombs from the previous night, which had been relocated to Scotland Yard. Meanwhile, William had carefully removed the green gel that was in the heart of each explosive and set the containers on a separate table in the room. He was staring closely at the containers when the door to the room opened, allowing Constable Fuller, Inspector Morrissey, and an elderly gentleman inside. Are these the Americans? The man scoffed. Yes, sir, replied Morrissey. This is Professor Frakture and his associate William Patterson. Doesn't matter who they are. Just so they know that we are allowing them to help us as a courtesy in order to find their friend. Yes, sir, Morrissey said obediently. Keep an eye on them. I don't want them blowing up the yard. The man turned and headed for the door, then suddenly stumbled into Morrissey. Are you all right, sir? Asked the inspector. Fine. I just caught my foot on something. Carry on, he said gruffly. Isn't he a pleasant fellow? William said after he left. That is Chief Detective Inspector Daughtry, my boss, proclaimed Morrissey. And no, he is not. He is highly suspicious of you two, and is not very happy with the loss of that copter you destroyed last night. Compared to 6 miles of city that I saved, his priorities are slightly out of whack, said Phineas. He's a very intelligent man, dedicated to the people, added Fuller. Someone snickered. Really? He is, Fuller added in protest. Morrissey pulled up a chair and sat down. Anyway, we are to watch you while you work, so you do not blow up the yard and such. Fine. Just don't get in the way. Phineas pulled down his goggles, lit a small torch, and began working. While William was setting a sample of the green fluid under a microscope, he noticed Fuller swatting the back of her skirt. Is there something the matter, Constable? Fuller, with a perplexed look on her face, kept looking around. I keep feeling something touching me. Griffin, you're supposed to be examining the fluid, not playing, Phineas said without looking up. Right you are, Griffin replied cheerily. Fuller and Morrissey looked around in confusion. Who is that? asked the inspector. My chemist. I took the liberty of bringing in my own specialist, Phineas said. Say hello, Griffin. Hello, my cheeky darlings. I don't see anyone. Fuller put her hand out and then quickly jerked it back. I've felt something. Keep going, love, and we'll both feel something. He has no clothes on, Fuller proclaimed, disgusted. I should lock you up. For what? Indecent exposure? You know, a girl like you can make a guy like me go straight, if you know what I mean. William felt an elbow nudge him in the ribs. Unfortunately, I do, he said, rolling his eyes. Oh, I'm leaving, Fuller said in a huff. Make sure that pervert does not make his way to the ladies' room. She slammed the door behind her. Morrissey tossed his hat onto the table. Put that on, so I can tell where you are, and I don't need you bumping into things, either. Fine, Griffin donned the hat. Just having a bit of fun is all. Well, the fun is over, for now, Phineas said, getting back to work. You both know what we are to do. He took his watch. We have 12 hours to get ready. Not much time considering the work ahead, so I suggest that we concentrate. Yes, sir, William and Griffin said in unison. Once again, a heavy fog shrouded the city of London. Moonlight illuminated the silvery mist as wisps danced between the trees of Battersea Park. Two figures stood in the middle of an open field, anxiously awaiting for the arrival of their nemesis. A distant thrum of machinery cut through the silence, growing louder as it approached them. Soon a shadow appeared in the form of a large two-wheeled machine that glided across the lawn. It stopped 20 yards away from the figures, and a hatch opened in the front of the machine between the two wheels. A ramp extended downwards, followed by the metallic footsteps of two revenant soldiers. Phineas tightened the belt of his trench coat and stared at the expressionless features of the soldiers. Where's Abigail? The soldiers remained silent as they approached. All right. Where's Dr. Malundi? The soldiers stopped a few feet from Phineas and William. Dr. Malundi requests your presence, one soldier stated. We know that. That's why we're here, responded Phineas. Where is he? You will come with us, ordered the soldier. We are not going anywhere. We were to meet here. Where is he? Demanded Phineas. You will come with us now. The two soldiers raised their right arms, and a blue gas dispersed from containers on their wrists. The world suddenly started to spin for Phineas and William, and though they fought the effects of the gas, they quickly passed out and fell to the ground. The soldiers scooped them up and carried them into the vehicle. As the hatch closed behind them, the vehicle started up again and returned in the direction that it had come from. The fog swirled around the outline of a figure, not far from where Phineas and William had been. A pile of leaves stirred, revealing a large bag, which was then hoisted upon an invisible back. Now this is an interesting turn of events. I guess Plan B it is, then, Griffin said as he began following Dr. Maloney's minions.
You're listening to Big World Network.